you guys can't hear me. That would be better if you could hear me. Okay, I'm hearing. That means that I'm monitoring. That's what we were just listening to, the slap back. That's why that one came in at a much higher level. That should be a good level for the music, for the hangout. And if you're here live, welcome. If you're catching the replay, we're just hanging out. And I was going to be doing this on Wednesday because my lenses were scheduled for December 3rd, but they came in early today. And there was a lot of things going on. But now that all obligations are taken care of, and on top of that, like all the live streams are done, and Ecamm did a 7-hour live stream today, which I was in the chat helping to monitor as one of the moderators. And that was quite a lot, but there was a bunch of us there. That was a lot of fun. And then after that, there was a 2-hour stream of Brandon Washington, the launch pad, that happened from 7 to 9. And now that all that's taken care of, I've been waiting diligently all day, but it's still a bonus. Like I said, these lenses are supposed to get here Wednesday, but they came in early. So I'm ecstatic about that. And now I'm just going to go into the unboxing. Yeah, and we're going to get to it. What is up, Mookie? And we got Paul in the house. So let's look at those lenses. Yes, I'm excited. How are you doing, Paul? All right. This is the box. This is the splurge, and this is something that, what was it? NAB, I think it was, that Brandon and Jarrell were doing a live stream, a mobile live stream, while I think it was NAB. It was one of those like things, or could have been Cine Gear, one of his live streams early in the year when they announced these lenses. And we got a sneak peek with Mr. Cam Mackey, and they had my attention since that moment. If you don't know anything about these lenses, they are anamorphic set, 1.3x, so 1.3 times anamorphic. And let me just get to the overhead to see if I can give you. So there, yep, 1.33x, right, in the E-mount. And one thing that I didn't understand, but it's like, it's kind of cool because I kind of run all of my lenses at f4, right, that these are f3.2s, but they're only f3.2. So to give them the characteristics of these lenses and to make them so compact, it is a fixed aperture at 3.2. So you can't go any higher, you can't go any lower. So you would have to depend on the lighting situation and everything to get the most out of these lenses. But there's something that's very, very unique about them. And let's get to unboxing. So man, these things were in my cart for a minute. And then when the Black Friday sale came up, like it was just like buy two, get one free. I was like, I have to pull the trigger. All right. And here we have nice little mesh case. These are some new songs that I found on Epidemic Sound that I added to my favorites list. So it's starting to grow a bit. And here they are. Wow. They're even smaller than what I imagined. All right. We have some paperwork, a 1-year warranty on each of the lenses, the 32, the 45, and the 65. Just put those there. Get a Blazar de-squeezer app. Okay. We'll check that out. It says how to change mounts on the Mantis 1.33 anamorphic lenses. That was another thing that I've seen, that some of these lenses you can go from like E-mount or something like that and then change it to a PL, right? Or vice versa. So this is very interesting what Blazar is doing. Right, we got an extra piece of foam here, which I don't think we're going to be needing. I think this will suffice. All right. From right to left, left to right, I'm going to go with the longest one first. Okay. Yo, I'm really impressed with this. Full metal construction. Oh, it's got such a nice, like, cool feel to it. Indicators on the side. Hold on, I might have one light too many. Yeah, that's gonna give better contrast, I think. There we go. So you see it's f3.2. And even though we have a geared ring, that's only for the focus. Lightly dampened. Man, that is super light. Let's take a look at the inside of that. Impressive that this is a full frame anamorphic. And this being the longest lens of the set. I gotta be honest with you guys. This is super impressive. And I haven't even showed you the main party trick of these lenses, which I'm gonna get to it right now. Okay, so get my Sony. Clips in, right? So right now it's set up for the horizontal anamorphic, but as we continue to create content more and more every day, we're getting even more and more into vertical content, and that's where these have that unique trait, which is this little button here off to the side. You're able to click into it, and as you can see, man, that was so smooth. Literally just pressing it gives you access, and this thing rotates 90 degrees. So now you can use your camera in a vertical format and still get anamorphic properties out of this. So the entire set does this, and like I said, this is my full frame camera. Let me make sure I have a battery in here. I do. Let's see if it's got juice. Yes, it does, a little bit at least. Which right now I have the, yeah, it's got the squeeze on sideways. Very interesting. You know, like I'm gonna eventually show everyone, but like it's also giving a completely different type of look going vertical mode with the lens, but then looking at it horizontally, because now you're getting extra squeeze from top to bottom, so it's making it look like extra widescreen. Yeah, that's definitely squozed. Let me see if I could show a little bit there. Okay, and you know what? Let me kick up the ISO to 800 because that's one of those funny quirks. Which this is gonna be a great daytime lens, and then also gonna be easy to mount, you know, like variable NDs, so that, you know, that's gonna be your aperture mode, so to speak. That's how you'll be able to control the light, because you don't have control over the aperture itself. Hey, what's up, Marine X? It's been a while. I know you doing your thing, man. You crushing it. So, but it's good to see you here. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and, yo, just the twist alone is giving me this. Okay, let me know if you guys seen that 70s show, and whenever the kids would get upstairs from the basement, that when the parents were talking to them, that the back wall was always moving and like squirming around when they were stoned. So at that moment, that's what this kind of looks like, going from vertical to wide. Like, just recording that is a trip all on its own, and it's an effect that you can get in lens or in camera, which is going to be unique probably to these lenses, because just the transition from this to this looks wild. I don't know if you guys could really see it. Here, let me see if I can give you a better shot on the overhead cam. Okay, we're looking at that. Let me see, make sure we're in focus of it. Okay, focus, and now I'm gonna twist it. Where's the side look? Okay. Try to do all of this. Look at how that image rotates, man. Yo, that is wild. In camera, that's something that could be easily used like in a music video. I'm telling you, easily. But once again, the most impressive thing is that I am getting full frame coverage on my full frame camera here, right? You see, there's no vignetting, there's no nothing. And check the size of this thing. Like, honestly, like I almost feel like these were almost made for like the DJI drone, right? Like yeah, the one I forgot the name of it, man. I've been so out of the loop with drones, because ever since I got my 360 camera, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do drones. But it's the DJI one, the one that Josh Yo from Make Art Now channel is always messing with. So the Inspire, that one's the one that has like the whole freaking kit, the big heavy duty one that with like the articulating arms for landing. And he's made an entire like system of adding weights to that camera gimbal, just to make sure that like he can offset the bigger lenses. And it looks like this set will just work amazingly on a gimbal like that. And I know it has the adapter for Sony lenses, so that's almost like what I think that this is kind of like set up for like anamorphic gimbal, because this is honestly so tiny. All right, let's go to the next one, because this is exciting. All right, let's cut that off real quick. So this is the 45 3.2. Get it. Oh, I'm doing it wrong completely. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Where's my caliper? They're so small. Like, all I need is my caliper. Right. Hold on. top to bottom, 65.25 millimeter. And that's from like the bottom. Like now, if I were to go from like the mount, from what will extrude from the camera itself, it's only 60 millimeters. Yo, that is impressive. And look at this, just pressing the button. Look at how smoothly that rotates. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm not seeing any screws on the back. So I don't think that this will be one of the ones that I'd be able to change into PL. Yeah, especially because it will have to be so close to those lenses. That's the same problem because this is an E-mount, and E-mount only gives you 18 millimeters of flange distance between the back of the lens and the sensor itself, which is like the shortest flange distance on the market that you could basically make it. But once again, this is why they did that. You know, these lenses right here, these lenses are the reason why anamorphics, not anamorphics, the reason this is taking full advantage. Let me say it like if I was doing it for a clip. Lenses this small is the benefits of mirrorless cameras, and not having a mirror and that entire mechanism, and being able to push lenses as close as possible to the sensor. Sony is making the most out of this, and with the E-mount and these tiny lenses, because they really are tiny, you're getting high quality full frame results. This is really amazing. And maybe we'll clip that. Everything's smooth on this lens. Hard stops here. And the fins are thin. I just need to make sure. Yeah. That's gonna work perfect with the follow focus. All right, let me see what this looks like on the camera as well. I think this might be replacing this lens right over here, the one that we're looking at. So camera A, this camera is probably gonna get replaced with this one over here. So this is like, just let me know in the chat if you want to see if maybe I connect this live and see what it will look like. Because first of all, we're gonna have this squozeness, but there's gonna be no way to de-squeeze it at the moment. So let me know if this is something that you want me to try right now while we're doing it live. But let me go ahead and connect. Impressive. The 65 millimeter in focal length is 71.15. Like I said, these things are tiny. So impressive. These look like APS-C lenses. And it looks good on that camera too, man. The silver and the black, legit. All right, let's see what we're dealing with here. Bit wider. Yeah, everything's like hella squozed. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna go into eye mode, so to speak. Viewfinder mode. Wow. right now I'm highly impressed. Like I was just saying, over here on this camera I have this T1.8 lens and I'm rocking it at T4, and this is just a shade underneath, so like if I might be a bit overexposed, so to speak. The only, now that I'm thinking about it, the only negative about it is going to be that you can't add like extra depth of field, right? Like let's say you were in complete daylight and you wanted to stop it down to like f22 and try to get as much of the environment in focus. Not going to happen here. But it's definitely going to have a stylistic aspect to it, and I'm here for it. Now, if you're watching this and you want to see more on these lenses, please be sure to like and subscribe, because I'm going to be making an entire series putting these lenses on all of my Sony cameras, from the A7R series that I have in my hand to my FX hanging out in the back, and the A7C that you're looking at right over here. Because like I said, I think this the 32 millimeter is going to be hanging out here. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do the de-squeeze for the anamorphic, right, on the fly, and have that implemented with Ecamm, which is how I'm doing all of these transitions and everything like that. But now guys, you know what, if you're here watching this and you're interested in these lenses, today is still Cyber Monday, so I recommend you go to blazar.com and you can get this deal if you've been interested like I did. They were already in my cart, so it was a no-brainer to save the extra money on the Black Friday deal, and now I have them in my hand, and I'm just going to be creating a lot more content based around these lenses. So yes, I'm really impressed with this. That just flows very nicely. It's got a nice satisfying like fidgety click to it, when it sits in there. Says that's some wild focus breathing. Yeah, it's not focus breathing at all. It is like straight anamorphic distortion. But of course, this is just a bit wider. This anamorphic top to bottom squeeze is very interesting. It just looks like when something, like when a monitor is out of resolution, right? Man, still highly impressed with how small these lenses are. All right, and now let's do the last one. And that would be the 35 millimeter, or 32, right? Okay. 32 millimeter. I love that little window. But that's cinema lenses. And once again, this is the shortest one of the bunch. It is 59.44. Just a little bit shorter than the 45. But if you're not familiar with anamorphic lenses, the squeeze is going to add more context to the same frame of shot. And once you squeeze it out, you're getting that extra width into it. But you're also going to get the oval bokeh, which, let me see if I could demonstrate. Yeah, you see the oval aperture in the back. So that's what, the squeeze is going to look like. And I'm not sure, it says it has neutral flares, but if you see what I see here, all I see is a lot of blue, right, within the the coatings of those lenses. So I'm guessing these might have like those nice blue wide anamorphic light lenses, lens flares within it. So I'm still so impressed on how small these guys are. That is amazing. So with this factor of 1.33 squeeze, right, and the 32 millimeter focal length, this acts onto this camera unsquozified, so to speak, as a 24 millimeter, but then, you know, like you're gonna get all of the characteristics of an anamorphic lens, including that oval bokeh of lights and the lens flare. So all of that is built in, and Blazar is a company that's well known for their amazing anamorphic lenses. So this could just be, you know, the start of the rabbit hole for me with anamorphic lenses. And because I knew these were coming is why I purchased my wireless follow focus kit. And let me show you something that I've done for my Sony cameras, because this is just gonna be a ton of fun. This is the build out that I basically made for my wireless follow focus. So it's basically a tripod handle onto a phone mount, and then an articulating arm to the follow focus unit itself. Why? Because I use the Sony monitor and control app. So I'm just going to be rocking my iPhone 11 Pro here. And once I open up that application, all I have to do is connect to my camera like the FX30, and I'll be able to rack focus. So I'll actually be able to sit in front of the camera and then be able to make sure that I'm in focus and then hit record all from this unit. So this is basically my wireless monitor and follow focus unit. iPhone 11 Pro and the small rig follow focus, wireless follow focus nano is the one that I got, the nano. So if you're watching this on the replay, I'll leave the links in the description if you want to check those products out. So that's exactly how I have it set up, and this is going to be super comfortable. And now with these, I'll be able to throw them on the camera on a tripod, get on this side, and not waste a lot of time going back and forth to see if I am in focus. I'll be able to double check here on the spot and rack it right to my needs, then hit record, and we're in business. Boom. Wireless microphone, ready to rock and roll. So all of these things are just investing in myself to make sure that I can create the content as fast as possible, because I want to compare these to a bunch of other of my vintage lenses and the cinema lenses that I'm getting my hands on as well. So exciting for all that. So all right, last but not least, the 32 millimeter. I'm gonna go ahead and clip it on. Yeah, so this one I'm gonna try to see if I can show you as well. Right here on the monitor, you can see all my tripods and all my cameras in the background. Right? Make sure it's in focus. We can see the yellow focus peaking on it. But that's my teleprompter there, which was zoomed in prior. But as you can see, this is much wider, and this is giving me, once again, full frame camera, so this is a 24 millimeter depth of field, or so many terms. I'm running a blank right now. I might need to take a break, but nonetheless, I'm excited for these cameras, these lenses, and look how small they are. I'm gonna start checking out anamorphic photography. Okay, because these are so small that I feel like throwing them on my smallest, like rangefinder style camera, like maybe my NX, the NEX6 that I have over here in the background, and throw these on there, and then just start de-squeezing, you know, my images anamorphic style 1.33 just to see what the image looks like there. Yeah, so if you're interested in any of the videos that are going to be coming up on these lenses, whether it's for video or even photography, make sure you like, subscribe so that you don't miss the content that's going to be coming up soon. So, like I said, Blazar knows what they're doing with the stylistic points. That's gonna be fun too for photography. The anamorphic. Anamorphic portrait photography. Hey, thank you, Mookie. Yes, feel the view. Man, I ran a blank on that one. You can tell the words are hard today. Let me see what he says. Because I never imagined that they would be that small. There's not much glass there, it seems, but are they heavy? Yeah, they got a pretty good weight. You know what? I got a scale. That's why we do it live. Okay, so I'm gonna do both weights. Oop. I just kicked up the music. Make sure that should be good there. Okay. Okay. It's in frame. Let's turn it on. Okay, those are pounds. We gotta use different unit grams. Oh, I wanted to... Oh, it's low battery. It's telling me low battery. Okay. 65 millimeter. The entire unit with lens cap is at 310 grams, 310 grams. But then if we take the cap off, 287 of actual like weight on your camera for the 66 millimeter. See, and you know, we're doing science here, guys. Like, if you don't know the difference between science and just doing shit, is writing it down. And even though we're not officially writing it down, we are recording it. So the recording process is just the same, because I could ask Chad from GPT to give me a transcript as soon as we're done, and that puts it into text, and we've completed the circle of making this a scientific process. Okay, 0 grams. With everything, 280 for the 45 millimeter. Then used weight is 260 or 259 grams. And the last one we'll just go in reverse because it's already naked. All right, so usable weight is 283 grams. And fully suited and dressed, because everything's metal, including the lens cap, 304. So it's got a nice weight for the size. They feel good in the hand, all metal construction. Like, these things are gonna last the test of time. So when you think about that, you know, anything that you buy, the value is really dependent on how much you use it, because there's a lot of people who think that the Apple Vision Pro is a waste, but it's not for me, because the way that I look at it, every day that I use it, it becomes a little bit less expensive because I'm utilizing it more, and I use it basically around like 2 hours per day on average. Not every day I get to use it, but then there's some days that I'm on it for 6 to 8 hours. And then that's not even like when I actually want to have some relaxing time, which is a bit of an exercise. I go and I start playing the the music game that I'm like so enamored about, called Synth Riders. And the Synth Riders game, I've actually got back into it since the latest iOS 26 update, or what I like to call the Apple Vista update. That one is gotten some better controls, or I guess better tracking of my hands. So as I'm playing the game, I actually immersed and come out in first place on a lot of the songs that I like to play for like exercise, because it's amazing cardio. And when I take like about an hour of my day playing that game, man, I'll tell you, I come out of here sweating. My heart rate is like through the roof. It's like amazing cardio, and I get to do that here. The rest I do with weights and resistance band, but I'm trying to be healthier. That's something for 2026, but you know, speaking it into existence, I want to lose some of the dad person in the center area, and yeah, and I'm doing all these other things to keep up with that, but that's just a lot of fun that I'm having. But let me know what you guys think as well of these lenses. I'm really impressed on how small they are. Like, I'm gonna go back to that scene. Like, these guys are tiny. We got the measurements and the weight here in this unboxing. But I'm excited. I'm excited to create more content, and I'm excited to get into the anamorphic world. So if you have any tips, if you're seeing this and you have any tips about anamorphic lenses, because I'm getting into it, what might be the best application to de-squeeze? I got this little ticket over here, basically the Blazar de-squeeze app. So I'm going to be checking that out. But I also know that I have different ways of adjusting that in post-production. So post-production is not going to be the hardest thing to get the look that I want out of these lenses. But I do want to emphasize this one thing, which is that I want to see how I implement it for the live streams. Because if it's going to be replacing this lens, I would have to be able to use it with Ecamm on a day-to-day. So that's where I'm also going to have fun experimenting with and learning exactly what I can and cannot do. So yeah, this, like, I'm just thinking about it, this might be a perfect lens for this, because even though this lens that we have in front of us right now is an f2.0, I do have it stopped down to somewhere around like f4, f3.8. So f3.2 with the CPL filters and the ProMist filters that I have in front of this lens as well, that should have everything around the same type. And if it is correct, which these are T 3.2, not f stops, T emits a lot more light, and it's a more exact form of, you know, knowing how much light. And just my quick experience with cinema lenses, the T stop, like a T 1.8, gives a lot more light to the sensor, and it's a lot brighter than an f 1.8, because of the difference between the actual light hitting the sensor and the aperture mathematics, which is what we deal with in all the other lenses. And that's exactly where we're at. So that's it, guys. We did it. This didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take, but I'm excited to now start creating content with these lenses. So if you're here for the ride, hop along, subscribe, and yeah, because I might be doing a pop-up live stream, you know. But another thing that I do every single week, which I want to mention, is the Camera Junkie live stream, which is going to be 5 consecutive years. This Saturday is going to be episode 262. So I would invite you to come and hang out this Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard, on this same channel, Mr. Camera Junkie. So if you're subscribed, you'll get notification. If not, set a calendar, just a reminder to hang out Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on this YouTube channel. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you then, if not next time. Talk to you. And this one doesn't have an outro, so just like yesterday, I'll see you guys.